Alrighty, we are live from Columbus, OH, and this is answering your financial questions live with Coach Steve Money. And you're watching this on youtube.com/Coach Steve Money, and I am a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And we have audio, and you can find my other financial content on my start page here on youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. Just go past the Oak Island and Skinwalker Ranch playlists, and you'll see the Ramsey Show After Show playlist. That happens at 11:05 a.m. on the weekdays that I can do it. The Answering Your Financial Questions stream, like this one, will start at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Especially on weekdays that I can't do the after show, and on select weekends. May not be every Saturday and Sunday. It probably will this weekend, so it almost certainly will be another one of these tomorrow. So, but normally that's for the weekend, and of course any day that I can't do the after show in the morning. The music playlist has 12 Ramsey adjacent songs in there, including How to Do the Baby Steps Right. And that's what most people need to listen to, because they're doing it wrong. Even if, and that's so frustrating, because these people are actually doing the advice or making an attempt to do the advice, and they're doing it wrong. So, for some reason they can't figure it out. Let's do some questions where we get the questions from either the Facebook group. Most of the time, though, which is the Facebook group is the Ohio State University. It's called the Ramsey Baby Steps Community, and that is the only Facebook group run by Ramsey Solutions. This subreddit is reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey, and that's run by fans. But people, of course, think that Dave runs it. Dave's company runs it. Did I open that one already? I think I did. Yes. Okay. So let's do questions. This is from Current Implement 56. Hi everyone. Hi guys. Kind of follow up on my last post. I got into med school and am paying it via taking out partial student loans and partially paying as we go, avoiding grad plus and maxing portfolio investments for 4 years. You're doing it wrong. I'm just in a weird situation where I have $2.1 million in the bank. And did I mention people do it wrong? Having a whole bunch of money in savings, but also taking out loans to go to grad school, you're crazy. You're crazy. Let's see what the deal is. Waiting on 600K to drop to. What do you mean to drop to? To drop to from where to where? This person is nutty, maybe. Sounds amazing, but I had to lose my favorite person ever and was her beneficiary to get this. Oh, I hear you. The 600K is the death benefit. Okay. And so that does explain that. But, the wording here is crazy for someone that's grieving. Maybe it's compensation, trying to, be jokey or something like that. I do that stuff, too, when there's, heavy emotional stuff happening. Anyways, all right. In grieving for my mom and living a comfy lifestyle, I'm spending about $5,500 or $6,000 a month. Apartment alone is $2,600 a month, and it's a medium cost of living area. Anyways, feeling guilty about it because you're doing it wrong. So why don't you change it? About it, but I also don't want to lose the comfort. Well, that's the real trick, isn't it? You are more than welcome to live your life how you want to live it, but then you also don't get to complain about your finances sucking because you're the one that's choosing to let them continue to suck. Oh, where were we? I already bought a second couch, so can't really downsize my apartment unless I sell the Arhas couch, you know. Yeah, this person is either trolling or is completely nuts. So I'm going to go ahead and guess that this brand of couch, Arhas, oh, let's check it out. Why not? I'm sure it's a fabulous couch. And of course, yeah. And let's see what, can we sort by price, lowest to highest? It does not look like it. Living room. Is it a thing where they don't even have the prices on there? There we go. Oh, that's not a couch though. Let's go ahead and I don't have anything that says couch, but and we don't need nothing. I mean, I guess sofa because we don't need this because that's going to cost a whole bunch of money. Let's see what the just like not the reclining either, just like a nice maybe a leather one. Uh, $3,300. Okay, so I bought a couch when I moved to Arkansas because I thought that like forever I would have somebody with me that wanted to sit on that with me. But that did not happen. So I do still have it. It's that couch right there. And that was, I believe, $300. So you spent 3,000 more dollars than I did. And the couch does the same thing. I'm sure this is much nicer, etc. So that is nutty. Trying to spend under 4% of my investments. Why? Because you heard that some financial bro website or something like that say that. Well, you can only take out 4%. Well, also, you should only be doing that if you're retired. These investments should only be in retirement. You're doing so much stuff wrong here. You do have debt, so you're in step 2, so that means you're not supposed to be doing any of this stuff. Investments are up about 25% since acquiring them in 2023. Yeah, they are. Actually, 2023, they should be up more than that even since then. So you probably got just index funds or some other crap. Let's see. Anyways, again, that's 3 anyways in the same question or comment. Any advice for just a confused person? Oh, tons of it. Navigating this circumstance without her mom to guide her. When your mom was alive, you were still screwing things up. So, were you not asking her about stuff? Anyway, be honest if I need to do a 180 gently, please. You might need to do you might need to turn, do 360s multiple times to fix all the dumb crap you're doing. But basically, it's not to have investing while you still have debt. You would not be doing that. Now, if this is your retirement account and you're retired, and living off the money, then I mean I guess you could keep your expenses low and live off 2.1 million and see, but this is in the bank and it's probably not in a bank. If it is, that would be why it didn't make that much. So because they generally have worse investment choices for you. And so some people say in the bank, and that includes their retirement account. It includes investment, any kind of investments or anything like that. But if this is just cash sitting in there, why are you leaving that in there and not using it to fund grad school? Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and assume that this person is not working. And I get the grieving for mom, of course. Of course. I lost my mother too. Um, like 20 years ago now. Um, and, in some ways it doesn't get any easier. But time does heal all wounds. I guess eventually you get old and you can't remember everything in the world, and so you forget to think, oh, I don't have a mom anymore, that kind of thing. But I don't think that's the problem. I think you were overspending before, and you just need to do the baby steps, and which is part of step 0 is you decide you're going to pay off your dumbass debt. Hopefully it's just the student loans. Hopefully that's all you have, but I'm going to go ahead and bet all my blood that you have other debt other than that. Hopefully I get to keep my, if not, fine. There won't be an answering financial question stream tomorrow because I won't be able to live without my blood. So I feel pretty confident that that's like that. But so if you're going to have a death benefit of that too, okay, say the 2.1 is retirement money, or some of it is, or whatever. The 600K, I think, would probably take care of it, wouldn't it? So you should be doing that. Avoiding grad plus. What the heck is grad plus? Is that some kind of other debt? Because I see you're doing partial student loans and partially paying. Why are you only partially paying? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of in my life. That's just as dumb as the people that are paying off current student loans and then they're going to take out more. That is dumb as crap. You should just be paying off your student loans and then cash flowing new stuff so you don't ever have to take out any more loans. That is the dealio on the Ramsey advice. So, comfort person, our house, I guess that's German. And that looks like a very nice couch. Did you need that? No. So that's not about comfort. You can be very comfortable on my $300 couch. I have slept on that. I slept on that many times when it was uncomfortable in the bed after I fractured my humerus. And so I did sleep on that many times, and it was comfortable. So you don't need to spend money for comfort. I understand about grief spending and stuff like that, but you were doing it before that. And so I don't want this question to take up the whole show. So I'll move on from that. But yeah, basically it's just I would have to ask this person, how many 7 comments? Let's wait in, shall we? See if we can get some more info. Thank you. Maybe I have grief brain. I think about this all the time and I have no answer. What was it? What do you think your mom would tell you in this situation? Again, it's not grief brain if you were doing this dumb crap before she died. Any other? No other information from the person. And so I already told you guys everything that I would be wondering about as far as whether it's retirement. Of course, if it is all in retirement accounts, tax advantage retirement accounts, you don't take any money out of it because it would be too much in penalties. So you would not do that. But this 600K could do your grad school, and then you wouldn't have a problem with it. Unless you're so set in your ways that you are just going to keep living the comfy lifestyle, and you're also going to invest all of that 600K and keep doing the same dumb partial paying for the student, partially paying as you go, cash flowing it, and partial student loan. So, condolences on your mom. I'm right there with you. Although, again, it was 20 years ago. So I get that for sure. But you were doing this dumbass crap before she died. So it's kind of just an excuse. Kind of a follow up to my last post. I don't remember a post that was like this. It's possible, I just don't remember it. Every dollar alternative for international listeners. No idea. YNAB, you need a budget. Might be good. The problem with international listeners is, depending on what country, it may not connect to your bank to download the transactions. But as I always say, that's a good thing. If you have to enter in the transactions manually, that means you are looking at them at least once, where otherwise you might not even pay attention to them. Even though they are being automatically put into the budgeting app. Lay once, just one time. What should I do? What should I do, baby? It's you. Da 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 da. My husband and I are both 28. We're both teachers. We have about $170,000. I'm assuming. Forgot a zero there, teacher. In loans, mortgage, car, and one other one. Okay, the one other one in the car are baby step 2. The mortgage, you pay the minimum, of course, every month. And then when you get to step 6, you start paying extra on it to pay it off early. And so what is the problem? That is what you should do. Follow the Ramsey advice, the advice of the guy whose name is on this, and it's not hard to figure out. He made a list for you. He probably checked it twice as well. Made a list. It doesn't have step 3B on it, saving a down payment. It doesn't have baby step 0 on there either, which is a ton of different things. But, it's pretty concise. And so it's not like it's too much and will be overwhelming for people. You wouldn't think, but people misinterpret it all the time. Oh, okay. So car and one other loan and 11,000 in credit card debt. Okay, so confirmed in step 2 more, even more so. We both make about $100,000 combined. And 170. Well, they've been paying on that mortgage, I guess. Or they put down a huge down payment or something then. Because if 170,000 is everything, and you make 100K, that doesn't sound that bad. You ought to be able to pay off the non-mortgage debt, and then save the full emergency fund, and then you're on step 4, 5, and 6. Anyway, let's see. Oh, combined, if you count a bonus we get at the end of December. Not guaranteed, but about 7K each after taxes. It's not guaranteed, so don't count it. Don't count it. What you do is you forget about that. You don't even thinking about that. And if it comes in, then you put it to whatever baby step you're on. Our house is up for sale. If we can sell it, almost all, I guess. Teacher, come on. Teacher, leave them kids alone. Almost debt will be paid off. Or does it mean almost all of our debt, or all? Who knows? Will be paid off, but we've had no hits on it considering doing a consolidation loan. No, Mr. Ramsey calls that a consolidation loan because people do that, and that adds to your debt because people don't do that for free for you. They're not trying to help you out. They are trying to make money off of you. And so do not do that, because another thing the consolidation does, and is why it's a con, is because it makes you think you've done something. It makes you think oh, I made this situation better. No, you haven't. You still have the same, not only the same amount of debt, you have more debt because of the consolidation fee. We have more month than money. If I'm being honest, well, why wouldn't you be honest? So why even, people love to do the virtue signaling, and I hate it. You frequent watchers know that already. Let's see, and I'm lost on what to do. You follow the frickin' baby steps. You stop your extra spending, and you cut your budget down to the bone. You don't go out to eat at all, not even fast food. Quit doing that dumb crap. Why is the house up for sale? With 100K, 170 total. So your mortgage has to be what, 11 minus 11,000, so that's 160, and whatever minus whatever's on the car, and minus the other loan that you're not telling me what it is or the amount. So we could be talking about anywhere from 150 and lower is your mortgage. So the mortgage isn't the problem. It's not too much house. So everything else must be the problem. And so if you like the house, keep the house. Maybe you got to sell the car. If you have another car, since it's two of you, if you have two cars and this one car has a payment on it and the other one does not, but they're both relatively new cars, then sell both of them and get two beaters. See, and then you can stay in your house if you like it. So maybe jumping the gun on that. I mean, I have no problem telling people to sell their house when they should, but I don't know that it's true on this one. 82 comments, too many to wade through and try to get the extra advice that they should have included. But I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised about that when they don't include it, because either they're not smart enough about finances to know that would be information that would be needed, or they just don't know it. They just have no clue, and that's why they don't know what they should do. So, but yeah, you follow the Ramsey advice. Live on less than you make, and get your non-mortgage debt gone first, and then your house debt. And if the house is being sold for another reason, like you decided to downsize on purpose, that kind of thing, and how you would sell it, even though you've had no hits on it, you lower the price then until it's gone if you want it gone. But I would ask this person, do you want to stay in it? And of course, confirm the numbers, because some people put numbers down that are wrong as well, or explain it incorrectly. How do I work with my girlfriend and join finances? You can work with her. Are you talking about like having the same job, or you mean work together on finances? So you do not do that. You also don't move in together. That would be doing it wrong. You don't combine your finances with someone you are not married to. Hey man, it does not work out a lot. Even if you do get married, it sometimes ruins people's finances, even if you are married. So you're going to try that with someone that has no excuse me, no ties to you at all, and could just bounce at any time, and you're going to join finances? I mean, I get it. You can be fooled into thinking it's going to work out. Like I said, I moved to Arkansas, so I understand how you can be blinded and think it works out. Guess what I did know? I didn't buy a house or apartment or rent an apartment with her or anything like that. Didn't join finances with her. I didn't do any of that stuff. And of course, I would not. I'm currently 23 years old and have been with my girlfriend for 6 years. Doesn't matter. Our gross income is currently $137,000. We don't have a gross income. If you're in the same apartment or house, you're doing it wrong. And so how do you work with your girlfriend and join finances? First, you get married. You don't need a big party. A lot of people say, oh, well, we're waiting to get married until we can afford the big wedding. No, you don't do that. Carry your dumb butt down to the courthouse and get married, and you can repeat your vows later when you got a lot of money if you want to throw a big party. Where are we? My income being $101,000 with bonuses included. Oh, well, she's not making a lot of money then, and her income is about $30,000. All right. And, you know, when you're married, that's fine. But so you're not married to this person and you make $107,000 and she makes $30,000. That's two, it's not equal. Not anywhere near equal. So again, if you get married, that's fine. Our fixed expenses are $2,670 with $800 of guilt-free spending built into those expenses. $800 a month. $800 a month. Okay, guess who's paying for that? You. We invest every single dollar into investments. You should not be doing that if you have debt. She has no desire to build wealth or learn. She honestly just transfers all of her money to my account and uses my debit card / credit card. Okay. Are you familiar with the Ramsey advice? This is the Ramsey subreddit. Are you familiar with his rice? His rice? Beans and rice is what you should be on, probably. But are you familiar that he's the no debt guy and no credit card guy? Credit cards are debt. Even if you pay it off every month, the second you swipe it, that's debt because it doesn't come out of your checking account until you pay it. And ask me what our monthly budget is for groceries, dinners, and ask me whether or not we can afford XYZ. Her net pay is about $1,900 per month. When she transfers me, I take out $500 immediately for our cost of... All right, let's see what other dumb crap is here. For our cost of living, and basically ask her how much she wants to invest, which she says is zero or minimum most of the time. I'll just invest her $500. I take out for expenses. Okay, well, you're making her finances better, but not yours. Because guess what? She gets to keep that when she breaks up with you. I'll say if it might work out for these kids. Who knows? Assuming younger. It said 23 years old. Yeah, dumb as a rock, too. Of course, I moved to Arkansas and I was already in my 50s, so I'm dumb as a rock too. But at least not about the money stuff. And I put the rest into her savings so I can tell how much of her own money she has. Okay, you don't see, the thing is, stop being stupid. A lot of people, men and women both, do this thing where they try to make the person that they're with do it right and have better financial habits by doing it for them. That's not teaching them a darn thing. My discretionary spending is the $800 as built on my budget. Her discretionary spending is the $1,400. That's a month after she helps with the bills. Okay, so again, all that's your money. All of that extra stuff is your money, because you're investing hers and she's spending probably some of hers as well, and a lot of your money. Whenever we agree to do something, it's when we agree to do something together. I guess it could be, because it's multiple, could be multiple times, so I'll give you a break on that whenever. I will pull from the $800 of guilt-free spending. Example, Again, if there's debt, none of this crap should be going on at all. Whenever I don't want to do something because it exceeds the amount she says she will pay from her guilt-free spending amount. Example, last week wanted to see a movie and have dinner, but I only had $100 left in our guilt-free spending, so we took from her 100 of guilt-free spending. Okay, that part's no problem. We have about 14,000 tucked away in GICs. I don't even know what that is. What is that? Search. Global Industry Classification Standing. Industry Taxonomy developed in Standard & Poor's S&P for use by the global. What is that? Let's see. Are considered safe investments because they are insured and other predictable returns. GIC. Okay, just some other dumb investment crap that Mr. Ramsey would not advise, and contribute monthly about 2,660. That's too many, dude. There's too many numbers here after the comma. That's not how it works. Into investments with the goal of buying a house in 7 to 8 years. Okay, you are allowed to use the market for that, but you're spending a lot of money to be wanting a house. And I mean, why in 7, 8 years? She has no direct path to a high-paying job, right? So it doesn't sound like you like this. Is all this your way of saying you don't like it? How do I make her do it the way I want to do it? Maybe. Let's see if it is. Yeah, we are really working on getting her income up. She's not doing crap about it. But now the job market, honestly, to be honest, we both spend about an hour a day sending out applications for her. You can't just send out applications from your house. 1,400 that she makes after her bills go has been broken down into 32% entertainment. Yep, shouldn't do that. 28% clothes. Yeah, you don't need to buy 28% of clothes every month. 40% into excess of our $800 of fund money when we go on date. We're still investing 50% of my net income. Okay, I know there's a lot going on, but there's a better way to navigate mixing our incomes together. No, if you were married, the way you do it is you put it all together, and it's not, well, I'll take this and you give me this much out of your money for it. No, all the money's together. Now, where it would be split up is how you're doing it for the fund money. Now you get 800, she gets 100, and then, the fund money, that can be split up. And then if you don't have enough money to do something and she still wants to do it, she can come up with the money out of her $100 then. That's fine. So that would be the only case that you would do that in. Otherwise, all the money is together and you only need one account for that. You don't need multiple accounts to do that. So, and also, I feel like you're just investing. It doesn't say anything about retirement investing here. So maybe some of it's retirement. I bet some of it's in a brokerage account. Definitely these GICs are in an accessible account, just a brokerage account. That you're using as a piggy bank for your house. Guess what? If you didn't do all your other dumbass crap you're doing, you could get a house faster. But maybe you're not in any hurry. Guess what? They're going to cost more in 7, 8 years. Navigate together. How should we split this? It's not being split. This is the whole problem. Didn't you just ask how to join your income together? How you can join your finances together, and then you ask how you split it. It's together, it's not split. You're so stupid. We are open to anything. We just want to work together while living a fulfilling life while still saving. You want to do everything all at the same time like most people. Extra contact, household net. So I don't care about any of that. Doesn't matter. None of that matters. Adding to the emergency fund. It doesn't say anything about debt. So hopefully none. And then you're better off than most people. I guess my question is, if I'm happy with how much we spend, save, and invest, how should I better streamline our finances so we're working more as a team as opposed to me just telling my girlfriend when she is allowed to spend what she is allowed to spend every month? And see, she doesn't care. She wants you to tell her that. And if I was her, I wouldn't have a problem with it either, because you are taking care of everything. You are taking care of the lifestyle. You are doing that. She's not doing that. And you are also, by virtue of funding her lifestyle, you are also providing for investments for her that if your name is not on it, that's all hers. So if she breaks up with you, all that's hers. Yeah. So that is not, you talking about splitting stuff, is not joining together your finances. So again, first get married, then actually join the finances, and then this stuff will work it out. Because guess what? Then both of you need to agree on the way to do it going forward. As far as that. And if she's just going to say you do whatever you want, that's not you guys working together. Dumb. What up, Joy? These people hurt my head. Yeah, stuff like that. It really does. It really does. No margin for fun. Everything is budgeted tight. Thanks to every dollar. That does get you further along the baby steps faster by doing that. For sure. And this from Parking Extension. Is our emergency fund too fat? And like I always say about if somebody asks if you have to sell the car, almost always it's a yes if you even bother to ask. So since you bothered to ask, I'm going to go ahead and jump out on a limb here on the tree. This is a tree and this is a limb, and then go out on the limb here, go right to the very, very end of it and say, yes, it is. And what else are you doing wrong is what I'm going to ask here. But let's see what is up. We're both in our mid-30s, hopefully married. It doesn't say that they are. That have been working for the government for almost 15 years each. Okay. I'm going to, in my head, because I don't have any more room for dumbness, I'm going to assume it's an essential government job that actually needed to happen and not just an excuse to grow government. Let's see. We are very fortunate to have a job that has been quite steady. We are currently on baby step 6 with our mortgage, 6 to 12 months out from being paid off. That's fabulous. And yes, you would not have higher than a 6-month emergency fund while you still have a mortgage. You're dumb for thinking that. Recently, with the government looking to downsize, we were worried about our jobs. Do you have the same job? Maybe, did you meet there? I'm glad my tax money paid for a happy couple getting together. Our job and how easy or hard it might be for us to find jobs outside the government. Probably not that hard, but you might have to work harder. So we bumped our 6-month emergency fund to a 1-year emergency fund. Okay, and so this is the problem. If you were watching too much news and you just think because a Republican has gotten into the office that he's going to destroy all the big liberal government, you're believing too much crap. And so what you got to do is embrace the reality of the situation. And yes, Elon did the oh God, what was it called? The DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, and they trimmed some departments, sure. Guess what? Since Elon is not there anymore, I have not heard anything that they've been doing. And you don't think the news would have stuff that they were doing? You don't think we would be hearing about it from the news? Like, I haven't even seen it on, third party, on aggregator news websites that just show like headlines, or basically the gist of the story, and then you can click on it and actually go to that article, that kind of thing. I have not seen anything about that since Elon left the post. So the thing with losing a job, anybody that's losing a job, you do not change the baby steps and go into storm mode, which you should if there's an emergency, but it's not an emergency unless there's at minimum a 51% chance that you're going to lose your job. And so, yes, government shuts down sometimes. Yes, a lot of people have lost their jobs there since then, but since it hasn't happened now, you might be more safe. But I don't know. And also, is your job important? Where you would think it would be needed, or are you just there marking time and getting a paycheck and making the government bigger? So, but it has to be a 51% chance. If it truly is, then that storm mode is exactly what you should be doing and just piling up cash. And you don't say, oh, we're going to bump that up to a year. No, you keep piling up cash until the emergency is over. So, where does that say? Where does it say? We bumped our 6-month emergency fund to a 1-year emergency fund. How did you do that so quickly? How long did you do that? When was Trump? That was this past January, right? And so it's 8 months. 8 months you were able to double your 6-month emergency fund? And how did you do that? So I think it's sus. So I would want to know. I mean, maybe they make a lot of money. Doesn't include that. Just wondering what other people's opinion might be. You do just pile up cash. You don't add it to your emergency fund. That's your storm mode fund. You don't add it to your emergency fund. So that is not how that works. But that is exactly what you're supposed to do. Just pile up cash if there's an emergency. And you wouldn't be paying. Now you also, guess what? If it's an actual emergency, you also stop investing. So if you didn't stop investing, then it's not an emergency then. All right. Of course, depending on the government job you have, they may require you to do that. Like teachers have to invest. 1 year is a bit off from Dave's plan. Look, hey, somebody that is familiar with the advice, at least, that's a good thing. You got to be, you got to try to look at the glass half full. But also, we are talking about our peace of mind. Okay, well, the beauty of it is you can do whatever dumb crap you want to do with your life and your money. You can do that. You don't have to run it through the Ramsey prism. You don't have to do that. You can just do the dumb crap you want. If you thought that was the right thing to do, then why are you asking about it? If you're sure it's the right thing to do, then you asking about it is also you doing it wrong. How about you just be convicted about that this is what we should do and this is the best thing for us? People love to have people agree with them. And how many? 110 comments there. So I'm sure there was a lively, lovely discussion. And I'm sure some people said, no, you don't know if you're going to. And maybe some people told them the right advice that it has to be at least 51% of you losing your job. Now, this one has been locked. Because there was comments, I guess, in this one that went out of control. And so the mods locked it. Excellent bus 8046. Oh, Joe said, tell them to ask me about lack of budgeting, planning properly earlier in life affects retirement. Yep, unfortunately didn't find Ramsey till a couple years ago. Better than none at all, Joy. Remember when I was just saying, look at glass half full? Paid off my house. Excellent. There is no one I, 45 man, can tell. I have seen the best of the people change when they realize you are better off in some way. In that case, I might tell them anyway, so you don't have to worry about being friends with them anymore. Why preserve your friendship with somebody that's going to be like that? That can simplify your life so you're not involved with those dumbass people. Paid off the last of my mortgage on Friday and cannot thank Dave enough. Me and my wife, 43 female, only found that Ramsey way last year, and his advice and general approach to life was a huge shock to the system. But if you were able to completely change and even pay off the house in 1 year, that means you either make a crap ton of money or you weren't doing things that badly. You know, maybe just the doing the oh, I'll have $200,000 in stocks, but I'm also going to finance $100,000 car. That kind of thing. And so that can pay for itself if it's, not locked up in retirement, of course. We were normal, yep, with 2 car payments, yep, credit card debts, and a huge mortgage. Switched to the beans and rice mode and paid off all in about 14 months, okay? 35K car debt. See, that's not a lot. So maybe that wasn't even a brand new car. Or they had paid it down a lot. 5K credit cards. See, that's just 5K in credit cards. And 427K house mortgage. That's the big one. And being able to do all that was, so that's 427, 450, 462, 467. Yeah, could have done to 40 and then $467,000. So they took care of that in 14 months. So they either make a ton of money, had a big shovel, or they were, and of course, this is what he's talking about. The best people change when they realize you're better off in some way. I bet the comments that caused the post to be locked were people that were mad that this person is better off than they are. See the rest of it. Next step, maybe a small dinner to celebrate. Approved. Start saving for kids' college fund. Approved. And yeah, and that is, you don't have to save for kid college unless your kid is starting college next year, that kind of thing. But if you can pay off your house in less than 2 years, you can stop investing, and especially the younger the kids are. You can stop investing long enough to pay off the house, and start increasing retirement investment. Yeah, on step 7, you can invest whatever percent you want to, and that is the only time. Other than that, you are supposed to be investing just 15%, and that has to be in a retirement account. No other investing. Now, if you are doing something like buying a house in 7 to 8 years, like the other people planned, then that is fine to do that in the market. Honestly, it is yet to sink in. How much time does it take to realize that no debt has actually changed your life? Well, I felt better immediately. I felt better immediately just paying it off. Just like doing that. Like every time I paid extra on something. I felt it immediately because I had seen so many and heard so many on the Ramsey show that have done it, and it did work. They did get to being debt free. And so there was nothing to stop me from doing it. And I did mess up the calculation. Oh, 427 was the original mortgage that started June 2021. Okay. So, but still, we had paid about 45K. This is good. We had paid about 45K by the time we became Gazelle Intense. Okay, so there was still $357 on the mortgage. We sold a motorcycle for about 15K and a bunch of other stuff for about 5K. Okay, that's 20K of it. Also liquidated all of our stocks, crypto, and savings except the 6-month emergency fund. Yes, brilliant. How did you know to do that? Because most people don't know to do that. They think if they have dumbass stocks in a brokerage account that's not retirement, or they have crypto, or they have extra savings, they think they're supposed to just keep that and you only attack the baby steps with new money. No, you undo all the dumb crap you shouldn't have done, like the extra savings, like buying the crypto, like buying the single stocks, or even, even the manner doesn't matter. You would not have a brokerage account. That's a non-retirement investing. And so this person figured out, oh, I can just undo all of that. Very smart. Very good. This gives me hope for humanity. We also reduced our retirement investing to company match and through all of our bonuses, tax refunds, and anything we could towards the mortgage. What you would be foregoing the match, though. That you did wrong, but it's done now and you're on step 7. So that's that. But just for anybody that's in the middle of that now, you also stop the company match. So that happens. And if you did that, it could have been maybe 12 months instead of 14. I realized that we didn't exactly follow the baby steps in the recommended order. I guess the economy and the job market spooked us. Dumb. Thanks all for taking time to commit. So that part is just dumb. Your justification. Everybody wants to justify the dumb crap that they're doing. Just, just realize that you did it wrong and leave that part out. Why wouldn't you just leave that part out? And not mention that you did it wrong. But people love to say exactly what they do so that somebody can say you did the right thing, I think. You gotta scroll up for the next one. Doesn't do it automatically. Environmental bat 454. I'm having buyer's remorse over a car I bought in April. How should I move forward? You sell it. And guess what? You're going to lose money on the deal. Tough crap. That's your stupid tax. I bought a 2025 Bronco back in April, and the payments are $750 a month. It's clearly not my best decision. That's being kind to yourself. And I acknowledge that, okay? You're being too kind to yourself. It was a dumbass thing to do. Just accept it. Embrace the reality of the situation. You fixed it, right? Oh, how should you move forward? Here's how you fix it. You sell it right now. Does anyone know what the best path forward would be to get out of it with as little damage as possible? You sell it private sale. You do not go to the freaking dealership. We are new to the baby steps and have about $100,000 in debt, and this being 40K of it. Let me ask you this, my friend. How did you start the baby steps? Why did you? After we bought the car, probably very quickly after we bought the car, since that was just in April, what happened? Did you have more money going out than you have coming in? You should have realized that before you signed up for the payment. Stop being dumb. So hopefully you will stop being dumb from now on. I know if I sold it to a dealership, I'm going to take a loss, but is that the best solution? You will probably take a loss even if you sell it private sale. So yeah, and a lot of people, but you are thinking about selling it at least, which that's good. That doesn't occur to a lot of people. A lot of people say, oh, I can't sell it for what I paid for it, so I can't sell it. Yes, you can. You just have to come up with the money to do that, to pay what you're underwater, the underwater amount on it. And Mr. Ramsey, guess what? You're not going to believe this. Mr. Ramsey is fine with you getting a $5,000 loan, for example, to pay off a freaking $50,000 loan. He's fine with that because you've reduced your debt by $45,000. Wait a minute. No, it's 40K. Okay, so it was 40K. Yeah, so still, if it gets rid of 40K, it could be like 5K that you're April, May, June, July, August, September. So 5 months. You've owned it, and yeah, it's gone down. It goes down in value as soon as you drive it off the lot. So that's why you don't do that, and do not finance a vehicle ever again. But yeah, you sell it private sale because dealers take they get a share of it. They're not trying to help you out. Okay, they are going to do that. If you ever watch Pawn Stars, you know exactly how it works, right? That's exactly how it works. The Pawn Star guys, I can't remember his name right now, Rick, I think. The Pawn Star guy gets his expert to come and say, oh, this is worth $100,000. Guess what? He's not going to give you $100,000 for it because he wants to make money on it when he sells it. So he might give you $75,000 for it, maybe. So he can get $25,000 for his trouble. Unholy adversary. So I got an email today. Been waiting a while for this since starting my journey, but I got the email stating you no longer have a FICO score. I feel like for me, only people in this sub truly appreciate this, and not people in my real life. Haha. Yeah, that's probably so. I never got that. I don't know if you're signed up for some kind of credit monitoring or something that sent you an email about that. I don't know where you would get that from. Maybe one of the reporting agencies sent that to you as well, but you would have to have an account with them in order for that to happen. Oh, I guess like because I had to do an account with them as well in order to freeze my credit. Just so there's no, I don't have any debt or anything like that, and I don't have a FICO score either, but just to freeze my credit so that there's less chance of identity theft. Fun stretch 28.90. Pause baby steps 4, 5, and 6 to save for down payment. Yes, you can do that. We have a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,200 square foot duplex with $290K mortgage still owing. Home is worth $400,000. We now have 5 kids, ages 3 and under. Getting a little tight, and under. Oh, 5 kids, ages 3 and under. 3-year-old twin girls, 1-year-old boy. Newborn twin girls. All right. We're getting into Brady Bunch territory here. No debt other than mortgage, 20K, an emergency fund. Only husband works and makes $83,000 annually after taxes and deductions. My question is, we need a bigger house. No, you don't need one. You want one. You don't need one. Newborn girl, twin girls can sleep in your room for the first year. So they don't need their own room. But people love to do this stuff in advance. Guess what? People try to upgrade houses and stuff like that, or get like an SUV instead of a compact car, even before there's even the possibility of a baby, even before they're even pregnant, and they're trying to do stuff for the kids, but there's no kids yet. Because, of course, as we know, people are nutty. My question is, we need a bigger house. You don't need one, so quit lying. Quit the justification station. Should we pause saving for retirement, kids and education, and our sinking fund for a new vehicle that we will probably need to replace in 7 years? We have 1,800 extra a month to split towards these categories, or we could bank it all to have a lower mortgage, staying true to the Ramsey method of no more than 25% home over take home pay. Yeah, and baby step 4, yes, you can do that. But also, 83K annually, so you're looking at a max mortgage. Let's see, what's that? That's 166 and 42. So that's like a $200,000 house. A $200,000 mortgage, rather. So even the one you have now is too much. So this is going to be a no from Mr. Ramsey and Coach Steve Money. So it's going to be a no. Let's see if there's anything else in here. With a 15-year mortgage for 5 years. You would have to save the down payment for 5 years to get down to that. 350 is taken off husband's biweekly checks with employer match of 300 each. Check goes towards his pension, and we would leave that as is. You don't even have to do that. But I don't understand what this 5 years is. If it's gonna take 5 years, Mr. Ramsey only wants you to take 2 off of saving a larger down payment. So probably this is going to be a no. You don't make enough money to get a bigger house because you already have a 290K mortgage, and that's too much. So again, it would be like 2.5 times your income, and the household income is only $83,000. So you're trying to buy too much house. You have too much house right now, in fact. So, I mean, maybe when you got it, it was before you were pregnant and you were working maybe. And so that's a mistake that happens too. But now that we know it's only going to be 83 per year, you multiply it by 2.5, and that's the amount of mortgage that you need to have. So the rest of it, say, for example, if you would want to move into this duplex that you have now that is worth $400,000, you would have to save the difference between what did I say it was? 166 and 42. So yeah, to $200,000, you would have to save $200,000. So your mortgage would only be $200,000. So it's not all about the 25% of take-home pay. That's not the only deal here. It's also that the income is not enough to be buying that much house. Sorry. You might have to get a bigger house in a different area, a lower cost of living area, or something like that. But this is going to be a no on that. So you wouldn't pause the baby steps because you're not buying a house anywhere near that expensive. And maybe you're not. We don't have a number involved. It's just a bigger house is needed according to these people. It's not. Lurking Texan, hard for me to have sympathy for these high earners. I hear these calls about earning 200K and above and how they have student debt, but want to start buying toys because they feel they've suffered long enough. Grow up, spend 1 year of hustle or a little more, and live like a king. Too many people are worried about driving high dollar cars and expensive toys. That's true. I wish I was smart enough to get paid that kind of money. Thankfully, I feel blessed after everything I've been through. I'm not hating on high earners, just hate the attitude that their life is so horrible. Okay, so that's great. What up, Aslan? So I thought this was going to be completely different. I thought this was going to be, they don't have sympathy for them because they just think about their amount of income as opposed to how much debt they have. And what they're doing is they're saying, oh, I wish I had that income for my probably much, much lower amount of debt, and probably lower percentage wise as well. The high earners, because they can, because the banks will give it to them, credit cards will give them higher amounts, their percentage of debt is most often going to be higher than the poor's. So that's what I thought this was going to be here, and it's kind of like that, but this person just wants them to not whine about it, as opposed to not understanding that they have more debt, they have a bigger shovel, so when you decide to do something right, even though they have a higher percentage of debt than you do, they can still get it done faster because of the higher income. Puzzled Fall 6980, struggling with low salary, what to do, make more money? You look for a higher paying full-time job, or you get a part-time job to go with your low salary full-time job. I honestly, thanks for being honest, appreciate it. Thanks for letting me know you're being honest. Thought once I started making a decent paycheck, things would get easier, but it feels like, for me, no matter what I do, I'm barely staying afloat. Rent jumps every year. That's going to happen. It's called inflation, babe. Groceries cost way more than they used to. That's called inflation, babe. Gas eats into my budget, and don't even get me started on random bills that will pop up out of nowhere. That's not how bills work. Okay? I don't know what the bill you're talking about is, but normally, like your electric bill, that's based on, like, from 2 months ago, the amount of electricity you used. That's not out of nowhere. I mean, if it's something that is like you had to get a car repaired, that's not a bill. That is a cost, of course, that they will bill you it, but that's not what I would consider a bill. The bills generally are referred to as a continuing expense, and that's a one-time thing. Anyway, I've been trying to be responsible. No, don't do or do not. There is no try. Just be responsible. Just like also, don't say you're being honest. Just be honest. A budget, cut out subscriptions, even switched to a debit card that reports to the credit bureaus just so I could build credit without getting into debt. You don't need to build credit, you dumbass. Because there were instances of me overusing the credit card and not being able to pay it in time. I think we found the problem. But it feels like, for me, every time I make progress, something knocks me back. Car repairs, medical stuff. Yeah, life is going to happen to you. You're not immune from that just because you decide to do things better, do financial things better. You're not going to be immune to that. Medical stuff, or just prices creeping up on everything. Well, then you buy other stuff that's cheaper. Quit whining. The other guy wouldn't like you because you're whining just like the Richies are about their whatever their, because they want to spend money now. I'm living hand to mouth every month and just one big expense away from losing my brain. Got a great idea. You get a part-time job too. At this point, I'm just trying to figure out if this is normal or if I'm doing something wrong. Have you not heard of inflation, sir? Is middle-class life just about constantly treading water when you make a low salary? Yeah, you're struggling with a low salary. Get your ass to more work. Or is there actually a way to feel secure and not panic every time a new expense shows up? Yeah, to make more money. P.S. making $50,000 a year, family of 4. Yeah, that's not a lot for a family of 4. You need to make more money. Okay, the debit card I'm using is Fizz. There are the options, Chime, and other secured credit cards. I hope this answers your questions. Okay, it didn't say edited, so I don't know why it's this. Okay, the I don't know why that is happening there. That's very, I don't know, that's weird, a weird way to phrase that with the, okay, the debit card is nobody cares about what the debit card is. So yeah, need to make more money. No management, 619. Made a big mistake and need advice on what to do next. Let's see, for context, I'm a 23-year-old man, been working my job for about a year and have about $20,000 in student loan debt that I should be able to get rid of in 2 years. Not should, you do it. You make it happen. You have to make it happen. And you live with that mantra. You say, oh yes, it is happening. I also just recently started listening to Dave Ramsey. Did you decide to get debt free before you ever heard of Dave Ramsey? A lot of people don't even think about doing that until they find out about Dave Ramsey, or they Google pay off debt and then he comes up on the old Google. I bought a house with my friend a few months back. Boop, 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 boop. I did all the math for expenses on an Excel sheet and found it was less than 25% of my income, so I went with it. And now why would you do less than 25% unless you were already familiar with Dave Ramsey? And if you were already familiar with Dave Ramsey, why didn't you know you don't buy a house with a friend? That is dumb to do. Like you said, it's a big mistake. Now I have a horrible headache and can't sleep from the debt. Hey, you know what? How about we do a thing where we don't take out debt then if it gives us headaches? I feel like, for me, I'm stuck with the house for 2 years to get the appreciation and the tax bonus, but I just want out now, and I feel like it's ruining my mental state, maybe? You got to put another word after mental. I wish I had never been so stupid. It doesn't matter. You can't wish it away. Too long didn't read. Bought a house too young with a friend. Yeah, you just have to sell it. And if both of your names are on it, guess what? Either one of you can insist that it be sold. So your friend can buy you out if they would like to keep the house. But other than that, he would have to sell it. And then you guys split the equity, if any. Or you pay the stupid tax of lost equity since it's been such a short time. So that would be the advice to do. You do sell it. Shouldn't have bought it in the first place. And that's, again, what people don't ever think about doing usually. Is when they start the baby steps, but they never bother to undo the stupid crap that they did before they knew the Ramsey advice. They don't like stop having extra savings or anything like that. They keep living their same life they have been. Except now they're starting on step 1 and they do that, and then they start on step 2 and doing that. But you undo that, like you can sell a car instead of that you have payments on instead of paying it completely off. Time is at 9:14. Successful square 909. Oh, let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Aslan says budgeting is very important. That is certain. Normally, you need to reduce your spending, then take on a second part-time job and look for a better full-time job. There is no secret. Spend less, make more. Aslan knows what she's talking about. Most of the time, this is her again. Most of the time, there are lots of ways for people to reduce their spending, but it requires some change, and people don't like that type of change. That's right. They don't want to sacrifice about anything, and that's why it's not really a surprise if people don't want to sacrifice and don't want to take the advice, and I'm fine with it. That's their life. What I think is best for them, of course, is to follow the Ramsey advice, because that will make your finances better. And so, and vis-a-vis that, that'll make your entire life better. No, you might not have the comfort level like the person that lost her mom. She's living far too comfortable. I don't know if you heard that one. Eslyn, she bought a. Well, she could have spent more than that on it, but a brand. It was called Arhaus, Arhaus couch, and this was just one example that she gave of her spending. So she's doing that spending, but also she has 2.1 million in the bank, she said. So I don't know if that's retirement or if it's just in the bank. And she is partially doing student loans and partially cash flowing grad school. So, but she needs so I went to the Arhaus website, and the cheapest couch that they have is $3,300. So I'm sure she didn't get this cheapest one. And then I pointed out my $300 couch that is very comfortable. Oh, there's no more to this. Okay, I was looking to see if it had more to it. It doesn't. Successful Square 909 next step. Started the debt snowball program a month ago. Have my $1,000 starter money. Well, it's not starter money. It's starter emergency fund money. It's money that's in it. Have roughly $30,000 in miscellaneous debt, credit card, vehicles, student loans. You can sell the vehicles and buy one beater. Mortgage of about $150K in equity, salary, income of about $105K yearly. My question is, I have roughly $1,700 left on the vehicle loan and have that in cash to pay it off. Would it be wiser to apply that to credit card or pay off the vehicle, then snowball that amount into CC, etc. moving forward? Well, you do the snowball that you mentioned. You do that from the very beginning. Pay off debt from smallest to largest. Says using the debt snowball. That means from smallest to largest. So if you have, like, for example, a lot of people's credit cards might be less than $1,700, you would pay off the credit cards first. So, got a great idea. Since you did it wrong before, and so wrong that you had to start the baby steps, how about you let Mr. Ramsey take the wheel here and you do it his way instead of immediately trying to change something. One more. Boom. As I said, that's a crazy amount for a place to sit. And a couch is not really something that will go up in value. That much is certain. I mean, they looked very nice, Aslan. I can appreciate that they are very nice. And they probably are really comfortable too. I would hope so for that kind of money. Car refi. That's going to be a no. You just sell it or pay it off. Hi, new to the baby steps and just have a quick question. Is it worth it to refinance our first car loan to get a lower payment? No. When we got it, I had very poor credit and got stung with a 9.66% APR, and it's still close to 25K on it. We wanted to keep it, and I think now that we paid off some debts and our credit is better, we can get the $632.50 payment cut in half. No, you want to pay the higher amount so you get paid off quicker. So we can focus on the smaller debts. Most offers are now lower interest rates, so we would, I think, be saving in the long run. That is not the idea, because see, as soon as you start doing that, then you make it easier on yourself. It's the payments are less, and that gives you less incentive to pay off all the debt. So that is the problem with that, same as consolidation loans. So Mr. Ramsey calls them consolidation loans, because they make you think they've done something. And also, guess what? The refinancing is going to have a refinancing fee, so you're even adding to the debt. Opinions, that would be a no. Income, $95K. Debts, $39,000 for 2 cars. The car in question is $24,000 of that. you should probably sell them if they're worth, let's say, 24 and 15. The $24,000 car, sell it and buy a beater. A DAP loan of $5,000 left on it. What? On what? A DAP loan of $5,000 left on it. Student loan of $3,800 left. What little credit card debt we have left is going to be finish this month. And soon we'll be selling a third vehicle. Left to us, which should cover the DAP and student loan amounts. Well, great. Sell the car as well, and then you are out of debt way faster. You do not need to keep it. You might want to, but you do not need to. And so why keep it and make the debt paying off happen way later than it would if you sell the car and buy a beater? So, I mean, granted, you can, if as long as you can pay off all your non-mortgage debt, which sounds like you might be able to do even if you do keep the car. But, I mean, you know, trying to keep this hard to keep it where you got to lower the interest rate and lower the payment. That's a lot of work to try to stay into $24,000 of debt. So that's going to be a no for me. Is what I would suggest. But if you can get all your non-mortgage debt paid off in 3 years, you can keep it. But just pay it off. Pay it off fast instead of trying to move the money around. Also, unless you're extending that loan out a lot longer, it's not going to be half of the payment it is now. Yeah, people are nutty. They think that dumb crap. And, oh, just because it's half the interest, that means that... No, it doesn't. Quit being dumb. Dave Ramsey School. This is from WS6HILOX. Okay. Dave Ramsey School. I'm thinking about buying this finance school for myself and my employees. Okay, it's not finance school. It's a program. It is called the business version of it, or the one like for owners to buy for their employees. I think it's called Smart Dollar is what that's called, but that's basically just FPU. Probably different packaging. I am unable to find any real information testimonials outside of on Dave's website. Okay. Well, nobody else feels the need to comment on it. Nobody else seems the need to endorse it. Where there might be, you might find testimonials or information, reviews, etc., on sites that sell it, and his is the only site that sells it. So, has anyone actually taken this class? No, I've led 2 FPU classes myself. And so it's pretty much the same, I think. I don't know what might be different about it, but it's still going to be the Ramsey advice. And have any opinions on it and feel like it helped them. For myself and my employees. So this is the owner. Yeah, it teaches you about all the Ramsey stuff, and if people buy bad finances, it can certainly help them. Even if they don't have it, they could be doing things wrong, and like, for example, leaving money on the table as far as investing, that kind of thing. So there's still things that can affect it. Even if they don't have any debt, it could help them. How's the class structured? That I don't know, but it's generally like 1 class a week is FPU. Is there a time limit in which it has to be completed? That's a good question. I don't know about that. I don't know how long, if you buy it, like, how that would work, actually. Yeah, I don't know. And it might be different for a company buying it, because they could possibly buy it for, instead of just 1 class, meaning it would be over an X number of weeks. maybe they have it planned by the month or year or something like that, and then you could like run it constantly, and people can take it twice, which sometimes they have to do that because they don't get it the first time. Not because it's hard to understand, it's because they screwed up. And so they need it again. Can someone get Dave to discuss this article? No, if he wants to talk about it, he'll talk about it. Nobody here works for the Ramsey show that I'm aware of. I don't know that any person that works for him comes to this subreddit. I like Oates intro outro music. How are we feeling about it? It doesn't matter. For me, it feels weird. Also, my podcasts are blaring the old intro outro over the first couple seconds of people's calls. Well, I'm not hearing that. I don't know where you're getting your podcast. How about you get it from somewhere differently then? Like if it's Spotify, how about you go to YouTube or vice versa? How about you do that? How are we feeling about it? Dumb. Just say what your problem is with it instead of asking how we're feeling about it. So dumb. Okay, one more. Obviously, I like talking. Magic. I'm magician. Magic, I'm a magician. I don't know what all that's supposed to be about. Paid off mortgage in 14 months eating beans and rice. Great. That is the advice. Recent one saying they had 468K in debt, so they sold 150K crypto plus 50K motorcycle and house. That's right. We just did read that one. Household goods and ate beans and rice for 14 months, leaving 268K owed, 120K net income per year. Paid off 268 in 14 months while only bringing in 140. Also, and they have a teenager and all the normal bills like insurance, phone, electricity, water, garbage. And people just believe this nonsense. The person posting this never explained how they did it and was just getting mostly accolades for their determination, LOL. Well, you don't have to believe anybody that types anything on this subreddit. Why would you? I mean, you would think most people would not be making up stuff. I believe he did address something, so maybe this person put a comment in there, and it was addressed. Oh, leaving 260. So he did the math and leaving 268 owed. 120K net income a year. Yeah, so that's not going to happen. And maybe there was a bonus at the end of the year. We don't know. So, don't know. I mean, we don't know for sure that the callers to the Ramsey show are giving the right information. I don't think they have to send any documentation of their debt freedom or anything like that to Mr. Ramsey. Oh, Aslan said that's the YouTube start of the episode, the 60-second countdown. Oh, yeah, the countdown is not part of the show. That's on YouTube only. And I believe that is. That's anything that you set as a premiere, you can do that with and add that countdown on there. Yeah, it is, but it's not playing over the calls, though. Because first they play the music and then they give the intro themselves. They don't answer a call generally with that still going on. They may be at the very end of it, but once the call starts, that pretty much is killed. Or like, or they take the volume and go like that. James probably taking care of that in the booth. All right, so when will the next one be? Tomorrow night we'll talk about the Invest $100 month becomes 1.1 million by retirement for a gift for a child. So we'll get into the details of that. Question on house payoff. To pay off without compromising other aspects. It is our only outstanding debt. Okay, if you have assets, if you have any savings or anything like that, investments that's not in retirement, you would pay off the house. Otherwise, you're debt leveraging. And Mr. Ramsey is not only the no debt guy, he's the no debt leverage guy. Baby step 4 is a self-employed individual. You can do a SEP IRA. That's what I was going to suggest. Okay. So we'll see what else his problem is. And did I make a mistake? Probably, if you're asking about it, probably did. Paid off mortgage, paid new vehicle, 0 debts as of recently. I have no clue who I started investing with. I have 6 figures just sitting in the bank. What is that? Paralysis by analysis. Help me, I'm losing money by just sitting there. That is true. You are leaving money on the table. So we'll get into that. Baby step 4 through 6 advice needed would be to do baby steps 4 through 6 instead of other things. And guess what? If you cannot do step 4, investing 15% / save a little bit for kid college each month, and then also put a little bit on the house. If you can't do all those at the same time, you probably have too much house. Guessing. All right. Aslan out. Not going to watch the little ending. I appreciate you watching it all, though. Thank you so much. You have a nice evening as well. What do we want to do? Oh, yeah. We want to do plugs at the end, of course. I am, again, Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And if you, yes, you are having money problems, or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me by emailing coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Donations can go to paypal.me/coachstevemoney. Alternatively to Cash App at $CoachSteveMoney. Walmart gift card to coachstevemoney@gmail.com. That same email address. Upcoming streams, The Last of Us. Going to continue with that playthrough. Probably 10 p.m. Eastern Time. The Ramsey Show After Show 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time. And that this week is going to happen Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, September 8th. 10th and 12th. Answering your financial questions streams. Those are at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That was this one. Tomorrow, Sunday. Also Tuesday and Thursday. So that's going to be September 7th, 9th, and 11th. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. Thank you so much if you have done those things already. And as always, make smart financial decisions every day. Stop doing it wrong.